So you may be wondering, what the heck am I thinking? Why did I build my Innie a recording studio? Well, like everyone else, I was totally enamored with season 2 of Severance. I was absolutely glued to the screen. And that got me thinking, well, this terminal, this MDR computer that they use to refine the macro data, what if it could run a DAW? What would that look like? So the very first thing I did is I drafted up this keyboard that was kind of inspired by their keyboards that they used to type with, but I thought it would be fun to make a Pro Tools controller that looks like it. So I took the guts from an arcade stick that plugs into a computer via USB, and I drafted up a version of a control panel that could run Pro Tools using those guts from the arcade stick. Now, believe it or not, this actually works. So if you plug this into a USB port on your computer, you can run a little software that lets you program which buttons do which thing. So I have it set up now to run Pro Tools, which is pretty fun, but I didn't end up using Pro Tools in this video, believe it or not, which we'll talk about that in a bit. Now, of course, you can't have the keyboard without having the trackball mouse, and I really, really wanted this mouse to work too. But unfortunately, I just couldn't get the buttons right with the trackball and everything else. But I got very close, so maybe I'll figure that out on my own time. But it didn't end up mattering because I made my own little MDR DAW anyway, which I'll show you in a moment, like I said. But once I figured out that this would work, I got to work designing the rest of the 3D models that I needed for this studio. So that included a screen, a monitor, and it also included some speakers that are just like the board speakers, the ones that the board talks to them through. I figured if I print 2 of these, then I can make them look like studio monitors. Now, the speakers and the ID card and a few other things, the actual Lumen logo, those were all modeled by other people. The 3D printing community is awesome, and they're all about sharing, and when you make a cool design, it is pretty common to upload it somewhere so other people can use it too. So I did a little bit of my own designing and took some elements from other people to print out this whole studio. And the 3D printing took forever, but it was definitely worth it. And one other detail, the Latin Audio LS208, which I used in the video, I also recorded all of the audio for the song with the same mic. Now, this mic is one that I love when I don't really know what mic I want to use. It has amazing background rejection and really nice detail, so those two things combined make it great for just like clipping on a desk. and recording audio quick without having to think too much about it. But Loughton Audio does not exist in the Lumen world, so I printed a little water droplet to stick on the other side of the mic. I also printed some logos for my other instruments because obviously Casio doesn't exist in this world. Everything's from Lumen. You know, you can't have any outside stuff down on the severed floor. So I've got all my Lumen approved audio gear done. Now, when it comes to the actual recording of the song, I wanted to kind of put my own spin on it. And I was actually inspired by one of the departments. I don't want to spoil anything at all. This is not a spoiler in the least. It's not all just MDR. Well, one of them inspired me to do a little bit of a folksier version of the song. So I've got acoustic guitar, I've got banjo, I've got octave mandolin, and I've got charango. Those are the main instruments that I used in the song. Now, once I had the song finished, I did realize that it might look a little cooler to not use Pro Tools and to actually make my own Lumen-based DAW. Now, I'm not going to build a custom DAW from scratch, but what I did do is I made all of the interfaces, all the user interfaces that would go on the screen in Adobe Premiere. And this was another thing where I kind of did some kit bashing. So I took some elements like progress bars and different kind of radar looks. There's all different presets that I used, motion array presets, and just kind of combined them and then did some of my own animation, bringing things in and out, the cursors, stuff like that, to make it look like a DAW that you would actually use in a severed floor. Now, this was super nice because I didn't have to worry about running Pro Tools while we were filming because that would be a huge pain. So it was nice to just have this running on a loop and then I could film and not worry about having to kind of move the mouse and use the keyboard to make it look convincing. Now, once I had everything built and I had the song to a usable state, packed up the car, and my wonderful friend Thomas and my other wonderful friend Will helped me out with this shoot a lot. So Thomas Filbert did all the filming and Will was kind of the first assistant, I don't know, AD, PA. He ran playback and filmed behind the scenes while we shot this video. So big shout out to Thomas and Will for making this possible. But at Actify Creative, they have this amazing cyc wall and this great lighting setup. So we were able to just pop in, move a desk over to where we needed it to be, set everything up, film, and then get the heck out of there. Now, I did not realize this, but there is a big community of elevator fans, which I believe it. Like, I'm a roller coaster enthusiast and I love pinball, and those are two of my hobbies that I just learn everything about and I watch tons of YouTube videos. But shout out to the elevator YouTube community because they made it so much easier to find an elevator that opened from the middle with 2 doors and had a nice backdrop to kind of duplicate the Severance look. Finding a specific elevator in your town is way easier when this community is uploading videos. So thank you so much to everyone who's uploading elevator videos to YouTube. I didn't know that you guys were going to be my hero, but you were. So I found this elevator at the CNL building in Orlando, and we were able to grab some shots. This was a little tricky because obviously it's a public elevator and people were getting on and off, but we were able to get what we needed and then move on. Now, this project was kind of a big undertaking, and you may have noticed I didn't upload a video last week. That's because I was working on this, and honestly, it got me thinking. I know that I've been uploading a video every single week, give or take. I've missed a couple weeks, but for over 2 years now, I've really tried to upload a video every week. Now, one thing I've noticed is there are a lot of great video ideas that I have, but I kind of skip them because this once a week cadence is pretty tough to maintain. So I've been thinking about dropping down to every other week, but doing some more high effort videos. If that's something you'd be interested in or cool with, let me know in the comments because obviously I want to make sure that I'm doing what y'all want, but I have a lot of fun ideas that I think if I had more time, I could pull them off really well. So chime in, let me know what you think, because yeah, obviously it's up to y'all and me, but I think there's some cool stuff that I can make that we would all enjoy. a bit more if I had more time. So that's kind of where my head's at. But anyway, if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. If you like Severance like me, then I'm sure you dig the theme. So hopefully I did it justice for you. And I'll see you maybe not next week, maybe the week after. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for watching.